Hello, I'm Peter Whittle. Now, this week saw a decision in the courts which could have profound consequences for this country's heritage, and indeed for any lingering respect there might still be for our legal system and institutions. As I'm sure you've seen, 4 BLM protesters, who were amongst those who pulled down the statue of Edward Colston in Bristol last year, were acquitted on a charge of criminal damage. What should have been an open and shut case was hideously distorted by a defence case which characterised the very statue itself as a hate crime and put pressure on the jury by imploring them to make a decision which would, quote, reverberate around the world and which should ensure they were on, quote, again, the right side of history. Needless to say, after the verdict, the 4 predictably middle-class white millennial vandals puffed themselves up with moral righteousness, acting from a sense of injustice and passion. One declared that their actions were an attempt to, quote, rectify history, mindlessly oblivious to the fact that this would be an even more Stalinist motive than attempting to merely rewrite it. This decision will give succour and tacit permission to all those who see our built historical landscape as symbolic of our hateful and shameful past, and therefore fair game. Any of these haters, malcontents and nihilists could now claim to be motivated by higher values and passions. And why should it simply stop at statues? Why not attack and damage buildings and institutions? This seems to be the inevitable next step, and the vandals would be emboldened by the sense that the people in them would not put up much of a fight, inhibited as they are by shame and rampant wokeness. The context of this week's decision is one in which our law and our law enforcers seem increasingly to apply double standards, depending on the cause. When the Colston statue was toppled last year, Bristol police stood lamely and shamefully by. Elsewhere around the country, their colleagues took the knee in front of protesters. One of these protesters attempted to set the Union flag on fire at the cenotaph and was let off with a mere conditional discharge. And the courts likewise proved lenient to the interminable disruption wrought by Extinction Rebellion. But what if, say during the referendum campaign, Brexiteers had burned EU flags or targeted EU institutions from an equally passionate sense of outrage at our sovereignty being stolen? How would the courts and the police have treated them? I think we can all guess the answer to that one. If this government does not get a grip fast and confront the increasing sense amongst the majority of people that their history, values and indeed their very environment will not be protected from those who seek to destroy it, we will be heading in a very dangerous direction. The law itself, with its increasing subjectivity and obsession with hate crime, will come into question. Surely it's not beyond this Conservative government to realise the urgency of this and address it? And in the meantime, is it not beyond them to offer the law-abiding, patriotic people of this country just some reassurance that they are indeed on their side? Thank you.